Okay, this video is for Potato Man 208. You're looking for a book for players or for coaches that will improve strategy, skills development, stories, tactics, right? Anything for a player or coach that really goes in depth. I was at a Barnes and Nobles and I was looking through the soccer section and I really couldn't find anything. This was about maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And at that same time, I've been working on this book called the Soccer Cookbook. And what it really is, it's not only a story about the progression of soccer training in my past 27 years, but it's mainly about three people who have really helped me grow. The first is Tom Turnbull, a skills trainer out of New Jersey, who did every single time I went to his academy. We did four different variations of the same thing. The first things that we did after a warm up was ball skills mastery and then soccer sequences. The most memorable soccer sequence with the right foot starting first or left foot, you go right with the right foot, outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Then you switch foot, outside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Then switch foot again, right? So soccer sequences help you master. It gives you a good foundation for ball mastery because this rhythmic pattern, since it's a nice, easy pattern to learn, when you say it out loud, you go outside, outside, inside, outside, and you have the players, right? Tom would have all these players say it out loud when they're doing it. So it kind of stuck in your mind pretty quickly. And then from there, since you could commit that to muscle memory, he was able to have kids improve their soccer dribbling skills very fast just by learning this soccer sequence, right? So we go soccer sequences, then we would do barrel game. The barrel game is, right, he would put a landscaper's barrel and pair players off into two, right? So that you'd have them on the walls, and then you would use your right foot, your left foot, both feet alternating, then right thigh, left thigh, both thighs alternating, then any part of your body you want. So you go, right, any part of your body you want to juggle a ball into the barrel. So all the players would start at the same time, and if you dropped the ball, you had to start again from your starting spot. So ideally, what this was teaching, what he taught players was how to juggle, not just when you're stationary, but it encouraged you to juggle while moving. And after doing, well, let's continue. So that's the third, I guess you could call it the second or third thing we would do, right? Ball mastery, dribbling sequences, barrel game, and then we would finish with a very combination of either 1v1 or 2v2 or 3v3. So just knocking each other's cones over with a smaller ball. The smaller ball, I noticed, it's kind of like playing video games and jacking up, right? Increasing your sensitivity to make it so you're getting more touches, and your brain is it's kind of adapting to a smaller ball, so that when you step on the field and you're playing with a size 5 is easier to manipulate, since we had been practicing on a size 1 or a size 2 ball, right? So we do a variation of that every single training session. And I went to him about, between 5 and 8 years. And, the first season I went to him, the season after, right, I started on the bench. I didn't play a lick. And the season after, I scored more goals than the whole team combined. So I was, my parents brought me there at a prime age when I was just getting into soccer. And I think I had an obsessive attitude towards juggling, right? Since I was always accompanying my older brother to training, or I'd watch his games, I'd watch his practices, and I just found a love for juggling. So I think, and I also had some good genes, right? My dad played college hockey, so I had some good genes passed down. So it was the obsession with juggling, as well as having a great skills trainer. Those two things combined with some decent genes, I think, helped me excel. The second part of the Soccer Cookbook, this book, is about Doug Nevins, right? Doug Nevins He's a coach I've had for maybe 2 or 3 years, and not only was he a great tactician, and also the way he ran practice sessions was very methodical, because we would do four things every practice, variations of four things. It was warm up, then we would do possession, either two-team possession or three teams, monkey in the middle, one team in the middle, or we would play possession with gates on different part of the area. The area was always tighter, right? It wasn't a wide spread out area we'd play in a tighter area. Then we'd go from possession to finishing on goal. He would call it Slotsville. So you had Slotsville is a hard driven shot or a hard driven back pass on the ground to the corners of the goal. So a slotted shot in those areas, right? Inner netting, right side, inner netting, side netting, left side. And then from there you'd call it Volleysville. We'd do volleys after the Slotsville, right? So you'd have players had players at the top of the key, right? A few yards beyond the 18. He'd have players facing himself, and he would be facing the goal. He'd throw the balls into the air, right? You'd hand him the ball. You'd hand it to him, and he'd throw the ball into the air, and it would take a bounce, and then you'd rip a volley, a nice clean volley on frame, and then the goalkeepers would just rotate in and out as they pleased. From finishing on goal, we'd go to crossing and finishing. 2 lines on the outside, 2 lines on the inside. All lines would be rotating, and there'd be no defenders, right? You'd rotate from the right side to the left side, and your middle lines are crisscrossing so they could finish on goal, right? No defense, and again, goalkeepers would rotate in and out, and right, the wing players, they would curve their, not much of a run, but their wind up, so that you wanted the line. I remember specifically, I was trying to play the ball. I was a winger, and I'd play the ball more towards the sideline and then have a tough angle to whip it in. And he said, Andrew, just play the ball, make it easy to practice, right? So he just said, play the ball towards the goal and then cross it in to make it easy for everyone. So 2 lines outside, 2 lines inside, everyone rotating, inside's crossing, alternating, crossing lines. And then the fourth thing we did every practice was, at the end of we would bring the goals in close, right? So we were blessed to have turf field with nets on the side, and he would bring the goals in close, and he would divide the team up into 3, right? 3 different teams, and then there would be one team starting on the outside as bumper players. This is a key point, right? He'd have bumper players on the outside, and he would, the reason why you want bumper players with one touch is because it keeps players engaged, right? Because if you're on the sideline and you're not engaged, or if you're not being used, you kind of turn off. But since players, right, if you're on the outside, you don't want to be on the outside. You want to get in the game, so you have high level of engagement with the players who are sitting out, because they just want to play. So their passes would be on point, right? Pass to them, they play to whatever team playing the ball, right? They're neutral players, and I think it raised the competition. Instead of just having 2 teams scoring back and forth from each other, right? No one wants to be sitting out, so that's why it's important to have 3 teams. One team always sitting out, trying to get back in, right? You always want to be king of the hill, and the goals were, not super close, but close enough where, if there's, players didn't defend, or you won a 50-50, you could immediately, you would go from attacking to defending very fast, and it replicated gameplay, right? Each of the things we did in practice, you could directly see it being executed in a game, right? Possession, you're playing possession the whole time. Finishing on goal and volleys, right? You got to finish on goal. Crossing and finishing, again, each component that we did kind of built up around, it was like we were playing a soccer game in segments every practice. And that's why it was so effective, because not only did we look forward to training, because he made this environment, he created this pattern that we would look forward to it, and he didn't use playing as a reward that he would give us or take away. It was just, playing to goal was a standard, and he expected a high standard of us, and we never took it for granted, right? Everyone was always playing hard, and I think he just fostered that environment of competitive play. But the X factor that Coach Nevins had was more than just about his coaching style or the way he ran a practice session. His excitement and enthusiasm for the players, and he was encouraging, right? He was a hard coach, and he told you what he meant, and especially if you fucked up. But he got so excited. His energy level was usually higher than any of the players on the field whenever he was coaching. So he was bringing more energy, which made you, kind of raise your energy. And for that reason, he's someone who I kind of try and mirror my coaching styles from. So, I think about him whenever I'm coaching or whenever I'm playing, because you always want to bring great energy, lift players up around you, and lift players up that you're coaching. The third person that I talk about in the book is this gentleman named Tyler Tompkins. If you want to check him out, you search _ty.fitness_, and he's someone who really, I've met him in preseason at Duquesne University, and I just noticed that his habits were superior in the sense that the way he treated his body and the way he treated his training, it was very, he had great habits, right? Some things as simple as brushing and flossing to going to the gym every day. And you could see, right, even if you check on his Instagram page, _ty.fitness_, you'll see how his training has progressed from his juggling patterns. If you scroll back from months to weeks to see where he's at now, you could see the progression and the dedication that daily training, daily training can do. So that's someone who you should definitely check out if you want to improve. I'm going to send you the full book. I have the full book. I demonstrate it daily, right? I put this book online daily. If you haven't checked out Dr. Vranich, Belisa, Belisa, Vranich, Vranich, How to Breathe. Google search her TED Talk, How to Breathe, and you'll change from being, right, she'll help you change from being a vertical breather to a horizontal breather. She kind of tells you the benefits of why being a horizontal breather and is far superior, and how, right, all animals in the animal kingdom, they're belly breathers. Babies are belly breathers. So that's something that, right, you breathe. Think about how many times you breathe in a day. If you change your breathing technique, that's gonna seep. It's gonna spill out into everything you do, where your training is gonna improve, your endurance is gonna improve. I've noticed my relaxation and my focus has improved just by doing some of her breathing work. So give that a try and see what benefits that breathing will improve, because I've noticed it in every facet of my life. This has helped me. The second thing that you want to check out is not second thing, but another thing you want to check out is David Weck rope flow, especially the alternating underhand sneak. If you Google search alternating underhand sneak tutorial, this is a rope flow pattern. Let me show you right now. Come on, you fuck. Okay. This is a rope flow pattern that when you start to master it, what it does is it mimics a runner's sprint. So it's going to develop in a low impact way. It's going to help you. It's going to help your spine bend and twist. It's going to help your balance, timing, rhythm. Right? It acts like a metronome, a moving metronome. Pop 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 pop. And I don't know if you can see this. I'm getting up on my toes. And I'm getting up on my toe when I'm doing this pose. So it's kind of like a step up. It's a step up, and you're whipping your shoulders down, your arms down. So there's this synchronization of movement that's just hard to put into words, right? You have to feel it to believe it, and to feel this the power of a simple rope, right? You could Google search how to make an RMT rope. This rope was given to me by a good friend named Annie. And right, or you could buy one on Amazon. It's just a rope. I like a softer rope so it doesn't chew up your hands. I've been telling people that you want your rope length to be 1 foot longer than you are tall. So I'm 5'9". I think a good place to start is a rope that's 6'9", because then you could tie some handles off and have surplus room. Right, if I'm holding both ends, it's about the length. It's touching the ground, and it's at my hip, so that just gives you an idea. So search RMT rope flow. It's not just about the alternating underhand sneak. There are other rope flow patterns you can learn: race and chase, matador's wheel, drag and roll, and all of them are going to help you fine-tune your movement on the field, make you more fluid. I've noticed it's helped me become a better ball striker. I noticed it's helped my juggling. It's just so powerful, and it's one thing that I wish I learned years ago. Years ago, I wish I learned this stuff, but now is better than never. And then the third thing I want to recommend is a skills kick trainer. Skills kick trainer. It's just a ball and a rope, but the beauty is the simplicity. Right? I went to France in the past 2 weeks, and I brought this ball and a rope to France. And I swear to God, I got between 2,000 and 4,000 touches in a day walking throughout Paris, just enjoying the sights, right? You just kick it in a rhythmic fashion. I'll show you this one too. Right? Ball on a rope. And you're just getting touches. And, I've had college, I played D1 college soccer, whatever that means. And I've had buddies to tell me, my buddy Adam, he goes, it's probably better if you have someone throw you the ball, and it's a better training technique. I said, yeah, you're probably right, but you don't always have a friend to throw you a soccer ball whenever you want to train. So this is just a fun way that you can practice getting some touches, right? You're working both your feet, you're working your balance, timing, coordination, rhythm, weight transfer, proprioception, right? Understanding where your body is in space. And for those reasons, right, Muhammad Ali, he trained 6 days a week, all day. And I'm not saying you have to train like that to get some benefits, but what it does is it can cram months of training into days or weeks in a way that's convenient for you, right? You don't need to go somewhere where there's a wall, or if there's a Planet Fitness by me, and they kind of don't like certain things that you do in the gym. This is something that, if it's in your control, it's not going to mess someone up, or you're not going to hit anyone with the ball if you keep it under control. So it's a very simple but powerful training tool that I think, right, I recommend it to every player I help train. For $24 on Amazon, Skills Kick Trainer. It's hard to beat. It really is. So I promise you get one of these balls, or you make one yourself, right? Size 1 ball, rope, tie off a handle, some duct tape. Boom, you got yourself a kick trainer. And the last thing is juggling, right? Tyler, he told me to buy a 2.2 pound medicine ball by Champion Barbell off Amazon. And it's one of the best purchases of my life as a soccer player, right? I'm never gonna It's going to travel with me everywhere I go. So when I pair a heavy ball and a light ball, as he does in his training videos, what you do is you sharpen your touch. When you sharpen your touch, you become more dangerous on the field. So give some of those things a try, and I'll send you the link for the book, and let me know what you think. I would love your thoughts, and reach out with any questions. All right, thank you.